Hi, I'm Irving. Welcome to Kato and Whatsisnoodle. Episode 2 of The Green Hornet begins with a guy who's hiding from someone. His first name is Joe. I'm pretty sure his last name is Deadmeat.
Hello, Joey.
Well, Charlie, I was just waiting for
you was waiting for a late date, right?
Yeah, that's right, a late date. Maybe you got a private deal going. A little double cross, huh? Oh, not me, Charlie. Well, you know best.
Sure, I'm only kidding. You can always count on Joe Sweet, right?
Charlie takes him inside a warehouse where he does indeed live up to the name I gave him.
You guys know I wouldn't blow the whistle on you!
That guy is really handy with that rope. Now, you could see what was happening there because I lightened it up a bit. Here's what it looked like originally.
You guys know I wouldn't blow the whistle on you!
The guy with the rope is the big boss, and Joe was selling photos of him to a reporter from the Daily Sentinel. We don't know yet what the significance of the photos is, but I'm sure we'll find out. Right after the opening credits, in which we get to listen to the Green Hornet's entire backstory yet again, while Al Hurt shows how fast he can double-tongue his trumpet. I have a feeling that's going to get old real fast. After the credits, we see more dark blobs doing things to and near other dark blobs. The Green Hornet blob is following Mike the reporter blob from the Sentinel. He was supposed to meet Joe and buy the photos from him.
Joe Sweet!
This could be a setup for Mike. Just be ready.
Joe Sweet! Up there.
Light him up.
The ninja gets away, and by the time the Green Hornet and Kato get back from chasing him, Mike is awake. He sees the Green Hornet and draws all the wrong conclusions before the Hornet gives him some knockout gas.
Good story, Mike. Time it was told. Racketeers staging accidents, then milking the insurance companies. Costing all of us in rising rates.
It sure is.
Mm-hmm. Good story. Except for one small detail. You left out a word.
Where? This reporter, on way to buy evidence that would have proved a man named Alex Colony, who has a large personal injury suit pending, has been faking his injuries.
Hold it, right there.
What did I forget?
The money word, alleged. And that's trouble, expensive trouble.
Your trouble has just arrived, Mr. Colony's lawyer.
The lawyer turns out to be a high society blonde who already knows Britt.
Claudia. Oh, that'll be all in this case.
Yes, Mr. Reed. I'll be just outside if you need any help.
What a charming office.
What can I do for you, Claudia?
The guy Mike accused is Alex Colony, and Claudia is his lawyer. He came into town some time ago to start a business and was hit by a car. He's been a basic invalid ever since, living on insurance money. His is just one of a sudden rash of insurance-hungry accidents, and Scanlon's office has been trying to track down some evidence of fraud. Britt says maybe the Green Hornet can stir things up a bit. That night, he and Kato prepare to pay Colony a visit.
Hornet gun. Check. Hornet sting. Check.
I wonder what the sting does. They head to Colony's apartment.
Since our names were linked in this morning's newspaper, I thought we should meet.
Green Hornet.
At your service. Declaring myself in on your little accident racket.
You'll declare yourself in on nothing.
Shall we say 50-50?
You don't frighten me. If I were free of these, I could break your neck.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Just like Joe Sweet?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a sick man. Why don't you leave me alone?
Your name and mine in the newspaper is worth $1 million to us.
I tell you, you're wrong. You can't believe what you read in the papers.
Later, Reed learns that Joe Sweet was working at a custom car shop. He has a lunch appointment, so he'll check that place out while he's at it.
But you promised no business talk.
You're right, Claudia. Lunch. One short stop first. Okay?
My afternoon is yours.
At the custom shop, he finds something interesting. That goes on the very same kind of crutch that Colony is using. Could it be a clue? Some henchmen recognize both Claudia and Reed, and they report it to Colony.
Did she see you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Can't take any chances.
You mean an accident for her? She's your lawyer.
So I'll get a new one.
Later that evening, Claudia is kidnapped. They'll hold her until they can figure out a suitable accident for her to have. The Green Hornet gets a call telling him about it. He says, "Let me see what I can scare up."
You keep breaking in here, making these ridiculous accusations. Of course I didn't kidnap my attorney. Why don't you ask Britt Reed about it? He's got more to gain by getting her out of the way.
What if I was to tell you that Reed's answer was the same as yours?
Which one of us are you going to believe?
Reed is a legitimate businessman. You're not.
Colony goes into his act, hobbling over with his crutches to tell the Hornet how bad he could hurt him if he wasn't so frail.
I don't scare.
The tip of your cane is missing.
I'll get another one.
No need to. I found it. On the floor of the custom car shop.
What car shop? Those tips are made by the thousands.
So much for that. Colony is ready to drop the pretense and fight. So that's what it does. I still don't know what it does, but it did it to that crutch. Colony bolts out the window and the Green Hornet says, "Let him go. We have to locate Claudia." I know I said the show was dark, but I meant dark in tone, not too dark to see what's happening. Back at the custom shop. Okay, that makes sense. They discover a secret door that's partially open.
They're expecting us. It's a trap.
In good superhero fashion, they walk into it face first. And there's the bait. They carefully make their way in until they cross a plane and villains start spawning. Wait, wrong genre.
Wrap them for delivery, Kato.
Again, I had to lighten things up so we could see the action. He rushes over to untie Claudia.
You look uncomfortable, Claudia.
What are you going to do with me?
Just see that you get home safely.
Remember this scene from The Mask of Zorro?
3 men, 3 gods. A small memento of Mexico. Raphael. To remind you not to return.
From the way Zorro said his name, he figured out Zorro's identity. Claudia is a trained and skilled lawyer, which means she should be good at picking up nuances such as the way Britt Reed says her name and the way the Green Hornet says her name. But no such luck. At the time, we would have said either it's because she's a woman or because she's blonde, or both. In actuality, it's poor writing. But it gives Britt and Claudia a chance to finally have that date they kept interrupting.
You know, I have a feeling that the Green Hornet isn't as bad as people say he is. He was so polite.
And tall and handsome.
Oh, much taller than you. There I was, tied up, helpless, about to become another victim of Colony and his gang, when out of the darkness came the Green Hornet. I hope he never gets caught. But if he does, I shall defend him for nothing.
I know I mentioned poor writing, but really, so far I've had to be pretty picayunish to find examples of it. This, however, is a glaring mistake. That final line falls flat. If we want to end the episode on a really great line, we need to do it like this.
You know, I have a feeling the Green Hornet isn't as bad as people say he is. He was so polite.
And tall and handsome?
Oh, much taller than you. There I was.
With Reed's wonderful expression, of course. Eh? Did Kato put lifts in my shoes when I wasn't looking? Actually, it's the hat. This was a good episode, partly because it took a fairly mundane, usually localized crime, insurance fraud, and made it into something the hero could sink his teeth into. I like how we don't always have to have world-shaking plots by the villains. Britt and Mike even discuss how insurance fraud drives up prices for us regular folks and makes it hard for us to afford it. The Green Hornet will fight for you if you're a millionaire who's been kidnapped. He'll also fight for you if you're the retired person on a fixed income who can't afford medical care because insurance fraud has priced you out of the market. He's a hero for everybody is the message we're getting. We're still underutilizing Bruce Lee, but at least he didn't do that much driving this time. And it's still early in the series, so let's see what happens. Until next time, I'm the Green Irving. Okay, that wasn't there during rehearsal. Who's the wise guy?